No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to that one and then despise the first. Ye cannot serve both Almighty God, capital G God, and little g God, Mammon, simultaneously. It's not possible. This is basic, fundamental Bible teaching that we have heard from our parents, grandparents, perhaps great grandparents, for a very long time. Many of them would have described themselves as Christian socialists. Socialist wasn't a bad word back then. They knew the tenets and the belief system that surrounded capitalism was a fool's errand from Satan and would end in destruction. And lo and behold, here we are, 33 something trillion dollars in debt. The country's fallen apart. People can't afford groceries. But irony of all ironies, I'm sure a lot of people have already started typing, so Florida Maki, you think we should be like the communist socialists in China? Funny that you mentioned China. China is about to take advantage of capitalism to take something from the United States that we had because of socialism. And when you hear the story, it's going to make you nauseous. You're going to say, pound your fist and scream, hey, that shouldn't be allowed. But the minute you say that, you're going to realize, wow, for that to be stopped, I would have to be a socialist. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are like, that's a lot of word salad, McKee. You better deliver. Oh, believe me. Battlefield of the mind. All of the details of what I just told you have been reported in the mainstream media, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard it, but nobody has put the pieces together yet. This is what we do over at the Florida Maki Patreon channel. $1, one single US dollar per month. Lowest allowable level. Even less if you sign up for an entire year. And the best part, if you go over there, take part in the training, watch the hundreds of never before seen videos anywhere else, and it's not for you, 3 months worth, fully refundable. No questions asked. Now, let's get to it. The U.S. military, the pride of quote-unquote capitalists everywhere. We have the best military because we have the most money. We bring guys from all parts of the country, all walks of life. They go through boot camp. They learn honor and integrity and pride and how to work together and become a team and form these bonds that last a lifetime. No, they're not getting rich when they're young, not in the E1, E2, E3 range, but boy, they got the best stuff. They got the best training, and therefore they'll be the best military. And we'll overwhelm everybody. You see, you learn in the military that you are your brother's keeper. Everybody needs to stand for inspection, be ready at a moment's notice to do things the exact same way the guy next to him is going to do it. That's really how the military works. You can't have a whole bunch of people with a bunch of different ideas about self-advancement. You either work as a team or you fail. Now, one of the big enticements to the military is that they give you training. You see, it's worth eating the free food. It's worth eating the free food. It's worth having the free clothes, the free barracks, the training. They do all that. They give it to you all for free with the promise that when you're done, your time is up in the military, that you'll be able to parlay those skills into a more profitable future. You join when you're 18 and you can do 20 years and retire and come out, and you can still have many years to work and make a bunch of money, but you have to sacrifice now. Many guys did this. Many guys got all sorts of training, very specialized training, and suffered through some of the most humiliating, horrible crap that you could imagine because they had their eye on the prize. My time when I'm done. Yes, I feel very proud of the time that I served in the military, but I have bigger goals. It didn't matter whether it was a swamp or it was a desert. I was looking at the future. And the military encouraged that. That's why a lot of guys were like, you know what? Okay, I'm not real excited about them injecting me with their little games and their experiments, but my eye is on the prize. I mean, there's going to be one day when things are going to be a lot better. Yeah, we'll have our weekends and we'll have fun in the military, but all of a sudden, something happened in the military. Guys that had done everything right got called into a room, sat down, and a whole bunch of people that they'd never seen before started calling them misogynistic, racist, homophobic bigots who needed retraining. These guys had served for years and years, honorably, been promoted, gotten medals. But yet, they were now having fingers waggled at them about how they weren't diverse and inclusive enough. And things that would have gotten you summarily kicked off duty and sent down to psych were now to be celebrated. They were now to be lauded and lifted up and respected. And guys started to look at each other and go, what in the world is going on? This is not what we were trained to do. This is not what we were trained to believe. This is absolutely against SOP. Oh, but no, not now. Not now. Abby, we're going to snap our fingers now. We're going to snap our fingers and say, this is now what you have to accept in leadership. And some guy said, it's just a bridge too far. I can't do it. I can't do it. I did my best to serve honorably, but I cannot sit here and tolerate this. So I'm leaving the military. So they left the military. And guess what happened? Here we go. 7 minutes in. Allied intel agencies warn pilots to avoid Chinese recruitment. Now, this wouldn't have been something we even had to worry about 25 years ago. But there's a new piece to the puzzle. Ready, capitalists? All you capitalist-loving people that think that the worship of money is the goal that everyone should have? U.S. and allied intelligence agencies are warning troops of the Chinese military's continued efforts to hire, as in for money, former fighter pilots to glean more information on allied tactics and techniques in combat. A joint threat bulletin issued Wednesday by Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States, the group of English-speaking countries who comprise the Five Eyes intelligence sharing coalition, said companies with ties to the Chinese military will try to lure recruits with large salaries, capitalism confirmed, and promises to fly exotic aircraft without details about their clientele. Potential recruits are often approached by personal acquaintances from their days in the military, the bulletin warned. Military pilots, flight engineers, and Air Operations Center personnel are the most highly sought-after targets. To overcome their shortcomings, China's People's Liberation Army has been aggressively recruiting Western military talent to train their aviators using private firms around the globe that conceal their PLA ties and offer recruits exorbitant salaries. Money. U.S. National Counterintelligence and Security Center Director Michael Casey said in a bulletin, recent actions by Western governments have impacted these operations, but PLA recruitment efforts continue to evolve. Blah, blah, blah. But it's about the money. It's about the money. See, now imagine this idea of the U.S. military saying, okay, pardon me, those of you who did your time in the military, those of you who did your 20 years, those of you who took the training, remember when we said that you could take that training and you could parlay it into a large salary doing something in the civilian sector? Guess what? No, sorry, you can't. You're basically our slaves for life. But wait, hold on. I'm confused. I thought we were a bunch of racist, homophobic, misogynistic bigots that you didn't want in the military because we wouldn't tolerate this, because we said enough's enough, that this is ridiculous, that you can't just snap fingers and say things that were obscene for the last 100 years are no longer obscene. You can't do that. We're leaving. And it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder about what the value system really is in this country. See, Peru, one of these countries that the U.S. has pretty much declared war on, even though they technically call them an ally because of all of the drug traffic being evidence of super turbo hyper capitalism, they're living in reality down there. They're legally classifying the transgender non-binary people as mentally ill, like we did for centuries. Evil, terrible, horrible. Russia proposed extremist label for LGBT feminist child-free movements. And I'm just going to let you read this because it just makes me barf when I read it. Daniel Gomez del Barrio from Spain. See, it's an infestation. But because it comes with money, and that's one of the dirty little secrets they don't like to talk about. It comes with money. People don't want to make that stand, do they? Oh, but America's the land of the free, the home of the brave. We're so... Really? How many years have we seen these videos about the FEMA Walmart connection? And you ready for this? This part's really going to stick. About communists, they control everything. Socialists, they control everything. Why are things so expensive? 4 companies control 55 to 84, 4 American companies control 55 to 85% of the meat market. 4 American airline companies control 80% of air travel. 3 American companies control 92% of the soda market. 3 American companies control 73% of the cereal market. 6 American companies control 90% of the news. But capitalism, though. 23andMe sells, not offers for the betterment of mankind, sells all DNA assets to Chinese government in $10 billion deal. Now, there are so many things that people believe. Capitalism, the extraordinary belief that the nastiest of men, for the nastiest of motives, will somehow work together for the benefit of all. I do wonder sometimes how people can possibly look at what the military does and not see socialism, but then decry capitalism when the Chinese offer to buy the talent that left the military, because of all of the social arrangement. See, the weird thing about poor America, $33 trillion in debt America, 2022, $93.2 billion in legal sports betting. Where did all that money come from? See, here's the leader of Venezuela, right here. That's the leader of Venezuela. That's the leader of the United States military. Highest ranking military officer. I want you guys to think about that for just a minute. See, our military tried to go down to Venezuela. You see the guys in black? That's not our military. That's the Venezuelan military. These guys in the shorts and the t-shirts, that's our military. And by all means, let's continue to decry the leader, long past, of Venezuela, who went before the UN and invoked the name of Jesus before the UN. Give me your crown, Jesus, give me your cross, your thorns, so that I may bleed, but give me life because I have more to do for this country and these people. So, I would really like to hear what capitalists have to say about this, because capitalism should say, well, gosh, it's a free country and, the world should be free to do whatever. Okay. So then these pilots and all these different talented folks from our military should be able to take the exorbitant salaries that the Chinese are offering. I wonder if the Chinese are $33 trillion in debt. Another story from another day. And they should be able to command whatever salary they want, right? Florida Maquis, our tax dollars went to pay for that. Really? Sounds awfully socialist to me. Perhaps we shouldn't have had a standing military. Perhaps we shouldn't have had a paid standing military to brag about. Oh, that's right. I forgot. They're a bunch of racist, homophobic, misogynistic bigots that only want to do these horrible things on the weekends. Guinea pigs. Deployed again, deployed yet again for what? Surrender in Afghanistan? To what point and purpose? What's next? Taiwan? Think these guys are going to be all that excited to go? They can pull down 6 figures just doing consulting? Kind of wasn't the plan, wasn't it? So, I will leave it there and let you guys discuss this, but love to have you at the Patreon channel. If you want to be able to see stuff like this, or more importantly, see why the mainstream media is trying to keep you from seeing it, join us. It's just $1. One single dollar. Not much you can get these days for $1. Believe me, the hundreds of videos over there are worth it. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.